wondering why nobody's dancing, and because that was something that he always wanted to make sure people felt joyfully while they listened to his music. So thanks everybody for coming, and thanks for your donations and for your love for him. It's overwhelming. So we live very different. I'm the oldest, and so all I do is look out for him and for my younger brother, and so that's been my job for a long time. So seeing, you know, other people helping has been really amazing. I just want to put out some thank yous before I get too far into things. I wanted to, first of all, thank everybody who put this together and for the cutting room to make this space available to him. And for people that are listening for the first time, Richard Julian, Craig Dreyer, Pagano, and Brian Mitchell who's here. So it's been really fascinating. I mean, again, I'm an attorney by profession. We could not have done this. Just to know that there was such pulling together and coordination. It's been astounding. I wanted to also do a couple of thank yous to the Jazz Foundation, who stepped up almost immediately when Clark had his stroke. It happened last year in November, and they were able to pull together some rent along with Music Cares. So I wanted to say that because I was panicking. I was wondering how all of these things are going to get paid. And they stepped up within a week and contacted me, and I didn't. It was just amazing. I was also pretty amazed about the many friends that I did not know that Clark had. Again, I don't follow him. I try to keep, you know, away from all of his business. So I'm learning things that he probably would wish I did not know. But his friends have kept his spirits up and have motivated him, and I can always tell when his friends have come by because he's got an extra pep in his step. He has some new words. He's anxious and participating more when folks see him and talk to him. And I don't, you know, it's always been interesting too because I don't get to see any of that. Because when I'm there, he's like, you know, this is Cynthia. I don't have to do anything. But he's got a very competitive spirit. And so it's really, you can tell so much the improvement with him when he sees his friends. So I'm really so thankful for that because I don't know if he would have progressed as much as he has without the assistance and just dedication to helping Clark out. Immediately upon learning Clark's stroke, we have a family prayer circle in Seattle, and messages went out. And there are people in the audience. My cousin Ricky, who is a member of the prayer circle and has benefited from the prayers of the family. It's really, and that's another really powerful thing that I've experienced, and so that I'm very grateful for that. And also thankful for the medical professionals who were right on top of things for Clark right away. He had his stroke in November 3rd, 2022, and the speed with which they were able to get things done was astounding. There are a couple of folks, and I think out to the vicinity over there, that were New York Presbyterian, who were providing the acute care for Clark, and they still, I keep in touch with them, and they've been so gracious of coming here this evening. And that's something that, again, I'm overwhelmed with these things. I also wanted to say a little bit about what happened to Clark, because I'm not sure everybody knows. He suffered a stroke in November 3rd, 2022. And his friends were with him, which fortunately for him, because he lives by himself, and his bandmates had detected some problems with his playing that was uncharacteristic of him, and a member of the band had recognized the signs of stroke. And they said, well, Clark, do you want to go to the hospital? And he's like, oh, no, I'll just take the subway. Which is, I guess, so characteristic of him because he didn't want to trouble anyone with what was going on. So that was, fortunately, he succumbed to his friends and the bandmates and made it to the hospital. They stayed until they were able to reach a member of the family. So that was another amazing thing. One thing that I have of my public service announcement for the evening is everything is on Clark's phone. And not having a piece of paper in his wallet saying, please contact X because he had an emergency call on the phone, but nobody else to call. So I'm making it, sometimes paper is good. I still don't have his passcode to his phone. And so everybody, you never know when you might be in a circumstance such as this, have something in your wallet to help somebody if there's an emergency, because it doesn't have to be a stroke. You could be in any sort of accident. So I'm just putting that out there because I think that would have not necessarily made it any better, but it would have been helpful. You don't have to put a lot, just the person's name and their phone number. What else did I want to say? And I wanted to also say some good news about what's happening with Clark. He's able to get around on his own. He had some weakness on the right side of his body as a result of the stroke. He has a condition called aphasia, which impacts his communication ability. It doesn't impact intelligence, but it impacts how he communicates with others. And if you see him, I've told people, if you had filmed Clark speaking, you would not know that there was anything wrong. But because the impact of the aphasia makes it difficult for him to say sentences in ways that the rest of us can understand, because he absolutely thinks he's communicating with us. And so that's been very disconcerting, but that's the nature of this condition. There are 2 million people in the United States who suffer from aphasia, so I just wanted to bring that all to y'all's attention. The other thing I wanted to talk about was just this whole process with dealing with the healthcare industry and trying to make sure Clark was taken care of. I don't think anybody, and maybe there are folks in the audience who have had an experience with our healthcare system, but I don't know how. I personally had not realized how dysfunctional it is. It is as if, and I've been trying to think of an analogy, but it is as if it's a Frankenstein monster, where the body parts do whatever they want, and you don't know if the monster is confused or might kill you. So you have, and that seems to be how the system is operating this way. Patients and their families have to deal with a labyrinth of rules and regulations and operations that I was not trained as in the medical profession. And I know for a fact that being an attorney, that will not help you. Going to law school won't help you, and understanding how all of this works. So I hope none of you have to go through this experience, and I hope maybe this will be the last one. And I think there are other people who would agree that this is very difficult for people to deal with, and so you don't realize that this is such a profound moment for me, because as being the oldest, I'm always the one, I always feel like I'm responsible for everything. And then you realize you are not in control of the situation. There would be no amount of reading I could have done to prepare me for this. And that's why something like this has such a profound effect, because we aren't all individuals. This is a community, and we think of ourselves as independent because in a way we are trained in some way, shape, or form that you're supposed to make it on your own. But all of us are here as a result of somebody helping you out. I'm here because somebody helped out, and so we need to come together as that is what the biggest, most profound thing that has impacted me from this experience is realizing you don't come into the space and operate with the world as if you have to deal with everything on your own. And there are people who will, it is a fact that all of you all are helping him. And I would not have, before this circumstance, I would not have even thought it was possible. So I want to thank you for changing my mind about what it means to be independent and what it means to be self-reliant, and that we're all together in this. I just wanted to leave with that, and thank you again so much. And I hope my little posts have been interesting. But again, I can't thank you enough for all that you've done. Clark will benefit from this, specifically with regard to his speech therapy. That's the next stage that I'll be able to move on with once he ultimately is allowed to go home. So thanks so much.